What's up, everybody? I don't know if we have anybody in here at all. Doesn't look like we do. And hell, if we can turn this over. There we go. So we don't have anybody in chat yet, but oh, good lord, I do not. I have not been on StreamYard in so long. My laptop will not connect to the internet, so I'm kind of screwed on that. I can't see chat. I don't know what the hell's going on. It says we've got 4 people in here. Trying to scroll, but it will not even allow that. So I don't know what the hell's going on with StreamYard. I don't understand it anymore. Comment on. What the hell? Okay. Hey, what up, Aaron? How's it going, man? How you doing, buddy? Oh, good fucking God. You scroll a little bit of bullshit here, and all of a sudden your screen fucking turns to shit. All right. Yep. CVA, there we go, buddy. What's up, man? Yeah, I'm trying to get my laptop to connect. It will not connect my freaking stupid ass satellite home internet, which I'm about to get rid of. Get T-Mobile. I got a tower not even a half mile from the house, so it should be all right. Aaron, man, I got a mix of good and bad. You know, everything with work has been really good. I just got my step 3 on my job. I've been there a little over 3 years, so I just got my step 3 raise. I'm working on applying for new internal jobs. My time with Dom's getting big. He's doing really good. Um, shit, he's actually finishing 3rd grade this year, or this week actually. Sorry. There we go. Dom's finishing 3rd grade this week. He'll be going into 4th grade next year. Little turd has gotten big. He's getting better, getting bigger, smarter by the day. Still got to help him with a lot of stuff, but you know, he's doing really good. Not as cute as he was when I first started this venture, and he was coming up on live stream with me. But no, he's really awesome. We've been spending our weekends now. The dirt track is open. The mini sprints, they've been running. He made a friend out there, and his friend's older brother and dad both race. So we kind of have a little bit of an in that's going to possibly help us. Dom really, really, really wants to race. So I am going to do what I can to get him into a race car. Now, if I can make that happen, I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, I'm going to try to make it happen. I want Dom to be able to race. And, hey, Big Matt, we got Brenda, 2. Got Brenda, Big Matt. Got 9 people in the chat so far. Yeah, this was just kind of a off the hip kind of live stream. I just said, fuck it, I'm just going to go live. Finally, you know, got situated. I just said, hell with it. Hey, there's Reef Robber. What's up, Earl? How you doing, brother? Thanks for coming in. I'm trying to get my laptop up so I don't have to sit there. There's Ashley Brady. Cleveland, we got 351 Cleveland in the house too. Did I miss 351? Come on, don't tell me I missed 351. He's always up in here. All right, I'm trying to scroll. Oh, there's 351. All right, man. Hey, 351. Glad to see you in here, buddy. Yep. So my plan is I'm gonna try getting Dom into his own little mini sprint car. I think for a 9-year-old, I think that's what they call the. I think it's the restricted class or the junior class. I think he would be junior. There was a little girl that actually she ran her. She actually went. God damn, I can't even talk tonight. She won her class Saturday night when we went. She was 9 years old and she freaking just. I mean, she owned the course. She did really good, and I think Dom would be able to pull it out. You know, I think he'd do really good. Let's see if I can get freaking. So I'm gonna try, see what I can do there. Hey, Mike Irvin, what's up, buddy? We still got 9, but hey, people are revolving. We got a revolving door going on here. Okay, some reason the Wi-Fi on my laptop, my house Wi-Fi, it freaking sucks. Not even gonna mess with trying to do hotspot or anything, but yep. I just figured I'd come up and chat, do a little bit of live streaming. We got rain. I'm sitting on the porch right now. Finally got some nice chairs to sit on the porch and just hang out. Let's see if I can change the view camera, give you guys a different view. And I live right off the main road, so you're gonna see traffic. There we go. So this is my front yard. That's my driveway. I would really love to spend some money and widen those 2 concrete strips a little bit, and right here to right here, right here. I want to spread that out, spread all this out, concrete, get it more in front of the garage, and bring that out about 20, 30 feet. And then this side over here, not really too worried about, but so I've talked about having big trees surrounding my yard. I got, oh, these big old trees. I got a lot of big trees that just go all the way around the yard. So then I got all this traffic drives by, but when I'm in the house, TV's on, everything else, I really don't care. It doesn't bother me. I hear a lot of motorcycles, a lot of stupid rednecks with their stupid fucking oversized diesel exhaust. They got their rock lights underneath. You know, shit. I remember what it was like to be a teenager. Do what you can, try to fit in with the crowd at the time. Got all kinds of idiots running by here. There's Otter Cat. What up, Otter? We got 10 people in the house right now. So, yep, it's raining right now. Kind of crappy out right now, but wow, Otter says that's a better view. What the? You know, Screw you, buddy. I know I'm not that good looking. Ashley says, "Good Lord, you ain't where near that road." Doesn't really make sense, but okay. My house is about 175, 180 feet off the main road, as compared to some of the other houses on main roads. So, Brenda, when am I going to come and go fishing? I don't know. I don't know where coming to where and going fishing is. I got to know where I would be going to go fishing before I can say I can do that. Yeah, we haven't had much rain here lately, and then all of a sudden we're just getting it. It stormed its ass off overnight, early into the morning before I went to work. I actually loved the thunder, lightning, everything else, other than the fact that I kept waking up in the middle of the night. We're down to 8 people. That's okay. We got awesome people in here. Aaron, brother, hey, you should still have my freaking phone number, so why don't you get a hold of me sometime? Holy shit, what the hell? I just screwed my freaking screen up again. Aaron, yeah. Aaron, you got my number. If you still have same number, I'll text you. That way you have my number again. There used to be a time and age where you actually text and said hi and how you doing and that kind of shit, but I don't get that from anybody anymore. Nobody at all, actually. So Truman Lake. Yep. Brenda, you're at Truman. All right, I'm gonna back out because I just screwed up the stupid screen again. All right, there we go. Alvin Lewis, the Lizard King, right there. What's up, Alvin? Dude, I seriously need a tablet to do this shit. Because on a phone, you don't get to see a damn thing. But yes, Aaron, if you still have the same number, I'll text you. Alvin, my house is what the? My house is 2 miles from the freaking nearest truck stop, jackass. Oh my God, what the fuck is this shit? Okay, I hate doing StreamYard on my phone now. Yeah, this is not fun at all. I'm trying to read chat, read your last two messages, Aaron says. Good deal. You're getting to the age where you wake up a lot. Yep, Otter, I'll be waking up a lot in the middle of the night to go pee. God damn it. Changed phone last month. Lost my contact. Okay, well, Aaron, if you change phone and you still have the same number, let me know. Holy crap. Okay, I need to get my freaking laptop online. Hey, don't you be talking about being technologically disadvantaged. It's not my fault that the only thing I can have right here at my house is satellite internet because there's no fiber, no cable, no nothing. It is satellite internet only. I thought I'd have to, I thought I'd try to have a nice live where I didn't have Alvin's give me shit. No, but you know what? I know I'm always going to get Alvin's give me shit. Ashley's sitting there laughing, an asshole. All right, that's another one of the people on YouTube that has my number and email address and has never gotten a hold of me. I can't tell you how many people on YouTube have my phone number and email. Either stop getting a hold of me or have never once gotten a hold of me. But you know, fuck it. I don't care. I'm tired of it. I don't give a shit anymore. Ain't no different than my personal life here at home. Ain't got a motherfucker trying to get a hold of me here. I come home from work and sit on my ass and do a goddamn nothing. Get up, go to work, come home, do a motherfucking thing, go to sleep, get up, go to work, do a motherfucking thing, all the same bullshit. And don't have a single person in the world getting a hold of me. So, fuck it. I'm used to it. Yeah, my laptop still won't connect to the internet. What am I drinking? I'm not drinking anything. Actually, I have not gotten a single text from you in over 2 years. So tell me you text me and I didn't respond. I think there's some bullshittery there. No, Alvin, I don't have Facebook. YouTube is my only social media. Mike Irvin, you can have my number. Just send me a comment. on one of my videos or something, I'll get a hold of you. Several times. Yeah, no, don't have a single thing. Is how I still have our our chat thread, I guess you call it. I still have the chat between me and you on my in my text in my inbox, and I have nothing unread. And yep, nope, didn't get a bottle. Did not get a bottle. Figure I'll let y'all watch traffic drive by on the street. Be better than looking at me, right? Bottle of water. Great value. Great value from Walmart with no labels. You don't get it any cheaper because they take the labels off. Yeah, Brenda, that's awesome. I'm glad you got everything moved. That's awesome. Maybe one day I'll get everything unpacked where I feel like I actually belong somewhere. Well, I'm sure the boyfriend enjoy that place there, Ashley. That'll be good. All right, guys. You got me back. Sorry. I know the trees and the pretty green grass were better to look at, but Devin the dude, or the Devin, yeah, the Devin the dude. What's up, man? We're chilling with 8 people in the chat. Oh shit, that's Devon. Fuck, Devon, what's up, brother? Goddamn, brother, man, I missed you. Hey, y'all don't remember DC Metro Angler Devon? I met him in KC at the CatCon in Kansas City. Devon is a freaking awesome dude. I love this guy. He has always been down to earth and just fun and cool. And then in person, he is just freaking awesome. So everybody check out Devon. But I haven't seen him doing any kind of content in a long time. But you know what? I can't talk because I haven't done any myself. All I've been doing is been posting shit, shorts from stuff going on with me and Dom. Brenda, no, I didn't go to a meetup at Texoma. You think I can afford that shit? I can barely afford gas to and from work week to week, let alone drive 2 to 3 hours, go to a meetup. Devon getting a new laptop. Gonna be shooting 5K. Jeez, hook me up with some of that money. Ashley still have the same number? Yeah. Aaron, work has been going pretty good for me though. I've been at my job 3 years. I started out as a WG5. I went from a 5 to an 8, from a 5 to an 8 to a 10 within a year. I spent 6 months as a 10-1, went to a 10-2, and then 18 months later, I just got my 10-3. So I'm now a WG 10-3. So that's cool. Finally got my resume updated so I can start applying for internal jobs. Ashley, you got 2 puppies I'd definitely take. But yeah, I finally got my resume updated and I am applying for internal jobs whenever it comes up to something I want to apply for. Wow, you got 3? I haven't seen 3 since I watched, what's that movie? God damn it, the Arnold movie, Total Recall. I haven't seen a woman with 3 puppies since I watched Total Recall. Dude, they really make it freaking hard on StreamYard to do on a phone. All right, Devon. Thanks for coming in, brother. Good to see you. Your shepherd had 10 puppies? Good God. And apparently nobody understood what I was getting at with the total recall comment on a woman with 3 puppies. See if I can get my laptop to freaking go. Yep, Ashley's going to be sending puppies over to you, Otter. Yep, Ashley knows 3 boobs. Otter's got a lot of nipples to feed them puppies. Aaron, life has been treating me. It's been treating me good. I don't know, but I'm able to keep this house that I can barely afford, and I can keep up with bills, kind of, sort of, and somehow afford a little bit of money to be able to take Dom to do things. Luckily, if you looked at my channel here recently, I posted some shorts of us going to the dirt track races. We go to the dirt track races, and he gets in free. Kids 10 and under get in free. He's only 9, and it cost me $15 to get in. He made friends with the little boy there who likes to come and stand. He's got his own flag set up. Like every flag that the flag waver for the race will wave. And this little boy, he keeps in tune, and he waves the flags just like the guy up in the stand does. Well, Dom made friends with him. He's got 2 sets of flags, and he let Dom come and join in with him. So every time that we go, they play and they hang out. I met the parents. The older brother, he's which Lucas is like 5 years old, and his brother Cameron is 24. So there's quite a bit of age gap there. But and then there's an older sister. But I've ended up making friends with the mom, the dad, and the older brother. Both the older brother and the dad race. They both race. The brother races A class, and I can't remember what the dad races. But they know people, and they know how to kind of get into it. So I'm looking at, they've given me some phone numbers and everything else. I can't really jump into it right now, but I am going to be researching and trying to figure out a way that I can get Dom into a car. And once I get Dom into a car, I'm going to be getting myself into a car, because that's something I would have loved to have done for the last 30 years or better. I mean, I'm 45 years old now. It's time for me to finally get into doing something that I really would love to do. But yes, it's awesome. They're a great family. A lot of fun. Went out there a couple weekends ago, hung out all the way up until the race is in. Went over into the pit, and was just sitting there bullshitting while the kids were off playing and everything. And the dad was like, we're going to Waffle House. You want to go? I was like, it's late. I can't afford it. And a little bit of chat and everything else went by. And then he was like, "You sure you don't want to go to Waffle House?" He was like, "I'll pay." He was like, "I'll buy y'all breakfast." I'm like, you know what? Okay, you're offering. You're a new friend, and if you're going to be offering, I'm going to take you up on it. I don't want to, make you feel bad or anything else. So we went, and We had a good time just bullshitting. So it was nice. Uh, when I went this past Saturday when I took Dom, I actually had to be up at 3:30 in the morning to be at work at 4:30. Um, so yeah, I couldn't go to the pit and bullshit, hang out, and go to Waffle House or anything. So, but I am definitely going to see what I can do about getting Dom into a car because I know Dom is destined to race and do something. Yeah, I keep saying he's 10 for the next few years. Yeah, actually, that's kind of my plan. But the problem is, he's my son. He's already a pretty big 9-year old. So it's gonna be hard to keep saying he's only 9 or 10 because you know I'm not a small guy, and he's kind of following me. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be able to get him to hunker down when we go to the ticket booth, and they'd be like, "Okay, sure." But we'll see. There's so many things he wants to do. He wants to race motocross bikes. He wants to race junior dragsters. Everything else. Now I look at it as if he got into a drag car. Drag racing is, I mean, it's a lot of fun. You got the power underneath your ass and everything else. The drag racing is straight line. That doesn't get you into other forms of racing. So if he got onto a dirt track, got into mini sprints or something else, that could introduce him to getting up into the world of outlaw sprints, and then maybe even Formula One, IndyCar racing. Who knows? Even NASCAR. It's just got to start them out somewhere, but put them on something that is actually going to be a lot better than just straight line racing like drag racing. Just say he eats a lot of eggs and drinks a lot of milk. You know what? Actually, over the last several months, he has gotten to where he freaking loves eggs. I will go through about damn near 18 eggs every weekend when I got him cooking eggs because he freaking loves eggs. And the problem is, I can't get the little turd to eat anything in his eggs. It's got to be just eggs. And of course, I scramble them up with bacon grease. God to drag, Ashley, don't talk about needing a new phone. I've had my phone since 2018. So yes, I need a new phone. Oh yeah, Aaron, Waffle House is yum. And for anybody who says Waffle House is white trash, ghetto, whatever, y'all need to go somewhere else because you know what? If you can go to a restaurant and you can sit there and watch the cook your food right in front of you, and you see that their hands are clean, they're handling the food properly, and everything else, you know, that's there's no better way. There's no better way. You're sitting there watching the food being cooked. So, at least you go to Waffle House, you're sitting there and you don't know what the hell's going on behind, or I say Waffle House. You go to IHOP or Denny's or any other place. It's out there leaving us. I got to head out, boom up, and hold your load. Yep, I know that saying. All right, Otter. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. We'll see you later, brother. But yes, Waffle House, as opposed to any other place, you really can't go wrong with Waffle House. Like I said, you're watching everything happen right in front of you. Actually, you don't have a Waffle House in Ohio? Well, I guess all you got to do is come to Oklahoma City and we got a bunch of them around I could take you to. So I don't know if y'all noticed from the thumbnail, if you actually looked at the thumbnail, but my actually it's kind of a big flower bed in front of the porch. Um, I got sweet potato vine growing. Okay, you know what? Let's see. Ashley said not anywhere by me, anywhere near me, but I'm sure there's one somewhere. Not even a Sonic. You know, Ashley, right now, the way Sonic is gone, Sonic started in Oklahoma. I grew up having Sonic. I had friends in Florida before Sonic was ever available there. They never had Sonic. And then all of a sudden Sonic showed up and they freaking loved it. Well, I think what happened is Sonic sold out. Sonic is no longer Oklahoma owned. They are like major corporation worldwide, whatever, nationwide. Some kind of big corporation owns them. Um, and then they, you know, I don't know what the hell happened, but like they changed fries from their French fries, from their regular straight potato French fries to the crinkle cut fries. Man, I just stopped at Sonic yesterday on my way home from work, and I decided to get their $7 big deal meal, whatever. It was a cheeseburger, fries, or cheeseburger with side, and you got some popcorn chicken and a drink. Well, the last 4 or 5 times I've been in there and I have gotten either their fries or tater tots, they have tasted like total shit. There's only one place in Oklahoma to get crinkle cut fries, and that is Brahms. Brahms has had crinkle cut fries as long as I know it, ever since the 80s. They're the only place who can do it. You know, you got Chick-fil-A who does the waffle fries. They're awesome. McDonald's has their awesome freaking fries that are like crack. You know, you can't stop eating them. Wendy's kind of changed. Carl's Jr. slash Hardee's. But, you know, Sonic going to the crinkle cut fries, hell no. And every time, like I said, every time I've been in there the last 4 or 5 times and I've gotten their fries or tater tots, it has tasted like total ass. And Brahms changing from their freaking 3rd pound burger to their, they're charging the same amount as they did for the 3rd pound burger, but yet now they're like a 1/4 pound burger. You know, fuck that. That's bullshit. Bring back the 3rd pound burger. What's new? Here we go. Jeff Beal, what's up, buddy? Sorry, I am on my phone. My laptop will not pick up my home internet, so I'm kind of screwed on reading chat. Um, what is Brahms? Ashley, Brahms is a dairy farm. They started out here in Oklahoma. They are a dairy farm that they started out doing ice cream and burgers, and they've been around since the 80s, as far as I know, since I was a little kid. Uh, they started out in Oklahoma. They're in Texas and I think Kansas. They're in a few states, but I know, as far as I know for sure, they're in Oklahoma and Texas. Um, but yeah, they started out as a dairy thing, and their quality has gone downhill. Now they're still pretty good, but they are definitely not what they were in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. It's kind of like Arby's. I mean, Arby's has gone a little bit downhill too. They're still good. I still love them, but they're downhill. But yeah, and Brahms, they would have their small burgers, their junior burgers, but all of their regular sized hamburgers were 3rd pound burgers. So they were really good, big size burgers. You just got a Whataburger? Wow. We've had them here for years too. Nothing as good as what as the old. Oh yeah, nothing as good as the old days. And I do like to go when I do go to Brahms. I like to get the jalapeno burger, and I'll get it with pepper jack cheese. Oh yeah. But the problem is with Brahms is you pretty much have to eat it right there because if you have to drive anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes home, you're going to unwrap that thing and all the juice from the tomatoes and everything else. The bread's going to be soggy. Everything. It's just, you know, you don't have the quality of any place anymore that you used to. Jeff, man, really not a lot new. Uh, just spending a lot of time at home working. I mean, shit, and spending time with my son, going to the races and everything else. Um, I bought a new welder. I bought a TIG welder back on a Black Friday deal. That was back, at the end of November, and that son of a bitch is still sitting in my living room floor. I have not messed with it. Part of that is because I'm worried about having the proper. I don't have 220, 200, 240 volt in my workshop, and it will work on 110, 120, but I'm afraid maybe the wiring is not sufficient in there because it is older. Um, but we'll see. I don't know. A lot of things have deterred me and kept me from it, and I really need to get out there and really start working with it. I've never TIG welded. Part of that is, part of not doing anything with it is kind of the intimidation of it. But at the same time, there's the other factors of worrying about not even having the sufficient electrical supply to be able to run it. But I do have ideas for some artwork, some things that I want to make, and I do have several pieces I need to get back on and finish actually. So hopefully I can get after that. Ashley will eat every now and then. Messier the better. Hell yeah, Aaron. That's kind of like Carl's Jr.'s slogan. If it doesn't get all over your face, it doesn't belong. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face. Let's see. Jeff said, I stopped eating fast food. It took a while. Then I go back and taste it, realize how disgusting the food actually is. Honestly, I wouldn't say it's disgusting, but yeah, Brenda says, yeah, everything as far as size and everything has gotten reduced, but the prices haven't. It's crazy. Whataburger is good, but yeah, I mean, hell, I love to cook good, healthy meals and fresh. All right, Brenda's leaving me. She's gonna do some karaoke live stream, I'm sure. But all right, Brenda, thank you for coming in and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And Ashley asked to head out, take the pups out, and do all that stuff. And she's saying bye to everybody. Good God. 922 Crappie coming in the house. Mr. Tully, what's going on, guys? I mean, we're down to 4 people, but holy crap, I got to pee. But I'm on my front porch. I mean, it's not dark enough to pee off my front porch yet. You know what? I'm going to make that happen. Oh, my goodness. Yep. Got some people back in here. Messier the better, Aaron says. Yep. So how you been, 922? Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta go pee. Y'all hang out, socialize together. All right, much better. So I don't think y'all can see, but yeah, no, all you're seeing is a reflection. But Maggie is on the kitchen table in the dining room hanging out. Haven't been lately. Yeah, man, I have not been fishing in quite some time. I really need to get back after it. Yep, that's why you got a private fence. You know what? I just said screw it. I was able to kind of orientate myself to where nobody could tell I was peeing off the front porch. I mean, they probably could, but whatever. If they could, they're still driving by too fast. I mean, speed limit by the house is 50 miles an hour. So, Bobby, how you been? Aaron's boat been in the shop. Aaron, you need to get that thing out of the shop and be live. So I finally planted some plants. I'll show you guys. I finally planted some sweet potato vine in the flower bed. So the flower bed in front of the house is nothing but gravel and rock. And I finally said, screw it. I wanted to plant something in there that will grow and spread out and kind of cover it up to where we don't see it. But so I got 9 plants in here right now. I got purple and green. The greens are really taking off, as you can tell. I mean, especially that one. That one is really spread out. But all of them, all the greens are really doing good. The purples starting to get better. But yeah, so it won't be too long. Maybe another month or so. This whole flower bed will be taken over. Those sweet potato vines, they'll be grown up, big leaves, looking real pretty, taking over. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully the purples will take off and they'll grow. So that way we got a mix of the two colors, and you know we'll see how we go from there. But I just kind of wanted to do something different and get rid of this whole bland rock look that was here when I first moved in. So trying to make it look better, trying to get a little color in here. Let's see who said what in a few minutes. Side, if I peed off front porch, they wouldn't see much anyway. Well, yeah, same here. Same here, Bobby. I mean, my house is almost 200 feet off the road, so they ain't gonna see much. You're still working on the new boat and upgrading the little boat. Fishing Impossible. Hit me up if you want to go fishing. I can get it up to 10 people on panel. All right. Jeff Beal says, yeah. Jeff Beal says, hit me up if you want to go fishing. I can get it up to 10 people on panel. Aaron named his boat J Dog's Bitch. You should name it J Dog is my bitch. You know, I love J Dog, but all of his recent shorts that have been coming out with all the Trump, all the political bullshit mixed into it, I'm not a fan. I don't give a shit what you think, what your political base is. I really don't give a shit. I don't want to know. And if you're not a political channel, I don't really feel like you should mix all that shit in there. I'm not, and I'm not going to be putting any of that bullshit on my channel. I have my political beliefs, and I know there's a lot of bullshit going on right now that's really fucking our country up, but that's as far as I'm going to take it right there. We've got a really fucked up thing going on right now, and I can't wait till it ends. But yeah. But like I said, I still love J Dog. The little videos, little shorts, they have been funny, but I'm not much of a fan of, putting political stuff on your shit when you're not a political channel. I need a small water feature. Yeah, Jeff, that would be pretty cool. I've been here 2 years, a little over 2 years, and I mean the big reason why I haven't done a lot of things with this place is one because I'm renting, and two because I don't have extra money. I mean I make good money, but at the same time my rent is $1,500 a month. I pay child support to Dom's mom. Uh, out of my check. It's an agreement thing. We never went to court or anything, so I give her money every month, and then I got to pay all my bills and everything else. Um, so I don't really have much extra money working on 40-hour weeks, even with the hourly wage that I make, which is in the 30s. Working a 40-hour week does not provide very much money this day and age when it comes to having to buy gas and groceries and everything else. Um, it really sucks. So yeah, I got to improvise on doing things that I do. I got to try to do things on the cheap, but I love this place, and I'm hoping maybe somehow, some way, I can talk my landlord into selling me this place, because this is 5 acres that I freaking love being on. I love coming home to this place. The house is older. They did a shit job of what they call renovating the house before I moved in, me and my ex-girlfriend, before we moved in. But the house is very livable. There's just things that need to be fixed. But being on this 5 acres, it's freaking awesome. I love it. Crappy day fish on. What's going on, man? Good to see you in here. Man, we're getting a big variety of people coming in. What's going on, Darren? How are you? Sorry, I've been bullshitting. I ain't been keeping up with the chat here. Uh, Aaron's gonna beat his boat PB of 48 pounds this year. That's awesome. Hopefully you do, Aaron. Man, that'd be awesome. My PB is 51 pounds that I caught on the boat with El Gato Azul down in Texas, and that was the same day that Dom, my son, caught a 45 pounder. That was an amazing day. We had an awesome, and we both just kept getting PBs. Yeah, Bobby. I do need to mow the yard, but we're having we're having a lot of rain and all that good shit. But yes, the yard does need mowed. I need to put some more fertilizer out. The last time, funny thing is, when I put fertilizer out last time, I walked up and down with the spreader, and then somehow I ended up with streaks in the yard. When everything hit, I got streaks. You might be able to see that. Let's see. Might be able. You might be able to see. I don't know, but there's streaks in the yard of bright green and not so bright green. Well, the bag, it was a 50-pound bag, I think it was, and it said it was good for like 16,000 square feet on the setting that it needed to be. And that said, you go up and down and then you go crisscross. Well, I went up and down and I didn't have shit for fertilizer left to be able to do the crisscross. So, yep, I'm going to have to buy more fertilizer and get this stuff going. But I got all these big trees going around the yard that, they kind of limit some of the stuff, some of the growth around here. 35 flathead, 12 channel, 1 3/4 crappie. Oh, these are weights that Bobby's got. 35-pound flathead, 12-pound channel, 1.75-pound crappie, and Bobby would like to break those this year. That would be awesome, dude. Oh, and you caught a blue of 11 pounds. That's awesome. Yeah, my biggest blue is 51 pounds. My biggest channel is only like 6 pounds. And then my biggest crappie I caught back when I was like 16 or 17, and it was like 1.5 pounds. Wow, your bank PB is 61 pounds, Aaron. That's awesome. So I'm gonna unplug the phone, and we can go walking. We can go walking around the back. Hey, my friend, who we got? Oh, Leanne. How you doing, Leanne? Thanks for coming in. So we got the basketball goal for Dawn out here. I got a mess over here. Got the truck under the carport. Got a mess. I just picked up some firewood the other day off the side of the road in my dad's neighborhood. I got there's 12 chunks. That's probably like 800 pounds of freaking blackjack oak. There we go. I did pick up a shit ton of freaking black carpenter ants along the way that showed up under the carport. That wasn't nice. I really didn't like that. But yep, got that. Do 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 do. I planted all these tomatoes and peppers like 3 weeks ago, and not a single one has sprouted up. I think I pretty much kind of screwed things up on that one. But so now we're off in the backyard. Love my beautiful big trees. Let's see. I'll just go. Got a little fenced-in area right behind the house. So my house is a raised floor house. So if I come up on the steps right out the back door, this is my view right out the back door. So I got the workshop and the shed out there. And then I got the pond right out there that there are no fish in. There's a bunch of turtles though. And then you go on and just more beautiful yard out there. So we just this shed out here, it's kind of usable. The landlord, he said he was gonna just tear it down, and he told me, he was like, if you want to keep it, you can keep it. Otherwise, I'm gonna tear it down. I said it'd be usable. I keep a lot of shit out there that I want to keep, but isn't you know isn't stuff that I'm really too worried about. If anything happens to it, then that's fine. But yeah, it's kind of rotting away, and if I wanted to spend about $2,500 to rebuild it, I can do that. But that thing is 12 by 24, and I looked up online to buy a 12 by 24 shed is between like $5,000 and $7,000. So spending $2,500 to get that thing completely back into shape and perfectly usable would not be bad. Um, I wouldn't care. Oh shit! Look at this. We got a possum. I got a possum in the yard. Got a possum. There we go. Wow, this is kind of weird. 8:24 p.m. and got a possum out here walking around and in the day, kind of dark daylight, whatever. I'm not gonna bother him, but if he's eating bugs and shit that I don't want in my yard, that's cool. Possums don't bother people. There we go. Can y'all see him? Figured I'd stop for a second. He's eating something. Hopefully it's bugs and not my you know what? I'm gonna take my phone out of the damn tripod, and it's gonna be a lot more comfortable carrying just the phone, not the tripod. There we go. Jeff's got a possum in his city backyard. He took over the garage. That's funny. Twilight, yeah. It's what's funny is I walked out of the house one morning like 2 weeks ago, and I walked out the back door, and there were two possums out there kind of walking around playing. Bobby says got to go get the let's see, got to go get the stink washed off and feed his face. So he'll see us later. Bobby, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. Thank you, Leanne. Me and Dom both love this place. It is, it's a great place to be. We'll come out here, and I don't even think this possum really gives a shit that we're out here. I mean, I am about 15, 18 feet from it, and it doesn't even care. Hey, what you doing? I'm probably about 12, 15 feet from it right now. What you doing? What you eating up on? It's okay. You don't have to run. Okay. Yeah, now it's running. So there's the tree line. So there's my burn pile. It's pretty small compared to the last one and the one before that. The one before that was about 4 times bigger than that. And this field off here to the north is a field that in November would have really been set up into flames. And then, got this stuff I'm going to add to it. Got the burn barrel. Got other stuff over here. I have been super lazy this year. I have not gotten out here. And I have not gotten out here and sat at the burn barrel and just burned things like I did last year. But we'll go out, check out the pond. Let's check out the pond. Yep, we'll check out the pond. Pond, it's not bad, but I do have a lot of turtles. It's actually down quite a bit right now. But I need to go to like the local lakes around here and start getting some bluegill and maybe some channel cats. It's not a very big pond. All of last year it was topped off completely. And this whole area back here, this whole area was so wet because the spillway is right here. Like this is the spillway right in front of me. And that whole area of the yard was just completely wet the majority of last year. So I mean, it grew up 3 foot tall. I could not mow it, and finally had to use one of those, walk behind weed eaters that's on two wheels and cut it down. So, but yep, this is the pond. It is definitely down. We haven't had much rain this year, so we're kind of screwed. But as far as I know, there are no fish in here. My ex-girlfriend's son fished out here several times when they still lived here after we moved in, and never caught anything but a turtle. When I moved in, all these trees back here were growing really, really low. And if you ever look at my community posts, the trees that I trimmed and got the really, really bad poison ivy were those trees right back there, all the way in the back. You can see them. I still have not finished cleaning all that stuff up yet, but like I said, all these trees back here, they were all growing really low. And I spent a lot of time when I first moved in trimming all these trees, trying to cut everything up, bring up the canopy, make the ground visible, get the grass growing, everything else. And if you can tell, if you can see, I got a lot of catalpa trees right here, got several over here, catalpa trees. They've got the catalpa worms that are freaking awesome if you grew up in the 80s like I did, 80s, 90s, using catalpa worms for catfishing. They're awesome bait. But I have not found a single worm on any of these trees, and I don't know why. So there we go. Got more big old pine tree, more blackjack. Got a big old cedar. I'm not even going to mess with it because, I know cedars are very bad fire hazards, but this thing is just so mature and big. I trimmed it up. I keep it up, take care of it. And then, well, of course, I got my good old fishing rod stand that I built several. God dang, I can't even talk. That I built several years ago, but I use it for Dom, or I let Dom use it for his rest for when he is shooting his BB gun. And then sometimes I'll come out here and I'll shoot the 22, even though it's kind of not legal to shoot where I live. But I mean, I'm in the country, far enough away from the city. Nobody gives a shit. I'm on 5 acres. So I I do have back in the woods. I cut trails for Dom to ride on his four-wheeler. So, and we'll go back to the porch. You don't need to see some of this cluttered mess that I got right here. So, but yes, more big pine trees. All these big trees, these pine trees are 50, 60 foot tall. Beautiful trees all around the front yard. There's a big ass catalpa tree right there. That thing is just beautiful. Big. Got a bunch of Bradford pears. Got maples, pine trees. Got a whole mix of stuff. And eventually I'm going to clean up this freaking flower bed right here. Get this whole thing all nice and neat. Cleaned up pretty. But yep, I'm going to get these sweet potato vines spread out and hopefully fill this whole area up. And good God, I done walked off and left the freaking tripod in the back. Okay, is Jeff leaving? I'm sorry. Start off with minnows. Okay, Jeff, I'll Minnows would be a good start. Yeah. See, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I was just kind of walking around. If you started a small fire in a fire pit in your backyard, fire and police be knocking on your door telling you to put it out, slap a fine on you. You know what's funny is, well, I say what's funny is, but where I live, um, I am actually under Oklahoma City, and according to Oklahoma City, I can burn as long as my what I'm burning in is under 3 foot by 3 foot, I believe it is. Um, it's considered recreational burning, so I can burn 24/7 if I want. I can stay out as late as I want, burning, taking care of getting rid of leaves, pine needles, branches, whatever the hell I want to do, getting rid of logs, and nobody can say anything about it, which is cool with me because I've spent, last year and the year before, I spent a lot of late nights out just burning, drinking beer, and drowning my sorrows, getting stuff burnt. Now, there were a number of those nights where the, whatchamacallit, the environmental conditions were in a way where the smoke just lingered and stayed really low, did not go anywhere, and it went out to the main road, and oh, it just kind of hung out. So I didn't worry, I didn't worry about it. I was within my rights to be burning. I'm sorry that the smoke lingered, but nothing I could do about it. Jeff, yeah. Looks like a small park. Keep at it. Yeah, man. Jeff. I'm definitely, man. I love this place, and like I said, I'm gonna try to talk the landlord into selling it to me because, man, it's just a beautiful piece of property, and if I can keep after it and just keep things going, I mean, it'll be just a beautiful place. I mean, it already is. I freaking love it. But I definitely would like to, keep up with improvements and just making it just a place that, you know, I'm already happy coming home to this place. I just like to keep improving, making it look better, making it better for me and my son. So, yeah. So I hope you guys are all doing great. Thank you, Leanne. There's been a lot of time especially this year, I've been really, I don't know, I've been lazy. I've been, just emotionally distraught in a lot of ways. I've had a lot of things messing with my head that has just totally gotten my desire, my drive to get out and just do things. It is kind of diminished. I'm trying to battle. Turn your lights on, dipshit. Trying to battle all that stuff, and I'm trying to get ahead of it and get things back in check. But it's hard. It's really hard as a single parent having to, his mom has him the majority of the time, but being a single parent, taking care of your own place, paying as much as I pay for this place and paying for him, child support and all the bills and everything else. I mean, I can't afford a new vehicle. My truck is 11 years old now, um, almost 200,000 miles, which is not much for a lot of people. But hell, I just paid off the transmission that I put in 3 years ago. Um, I'm doing my best. I'm trying. I'm pushing forward, but goddamn, I got all this fishing stuff. I want to get out and go fishing. Dom's mentioned going fishing in the past, and I need to get all my fishing gear lined out, get everything back in order, get the drive to get out there and go. I keep losing my will to do a lot of things, and it sucks. It's like my drive is to get up, go to work, come home, do what I can to try to get the house back in order, and then go to sleep and do the same thing over again. And we don't have extra money. I mean, you got to keep telling your son, your 9-year-old son, that we don't have the money to get out and do that. I don't have the money to buy you that. I don't have money for this. I don't have money to freaking buy steak so I can grill us a nice steak dinner. We're stuck on grilling chicken, cooking and grilling chicken and pork chops and pork and cooking deer meat out of the freezer. Can't afford no beef for shit. Cheapest hamburger meat I saw last time I was in Walmart was $7 a pound, and that was the fattiest hamburger they had. So I'm just doing what I can, keep pushing. Eventually, things are gonna get straightened out. I'm gonna be able to push forward. I got ideas for stuff with my artwork that hopefully I can get going on and maybe trying to push. And my problem is I don't have the self confidence to just put myself out there and just jump out there and do things, get things out there. I hate it. All right, Jeff, man, I appreciate the calm word, that I appreciate the words. Have a good day at work, Jeff. Hey, Johnny, what's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in. So, Johnny, you're looking out off my front porch, out onto the road, looking at my front yard. Yep, that's a heck of a yard. Johnny, my house is set back almost, I've walked it, I've stepped it off. It's about 180 feet from the road where my house is at. So I got that big front yard, and then I've got the big backyard. Johnny, you missed the tour of the backyard I just did 10 minutes ago. I toured the pond and the rest of the backyard and everything, but I figured you guys didn't want to look at my ugly mug, so you can sit out there at the front yard. And so, Johnny, when I talk about my yard being lined with trees, I've got trees completely lining the yard between pine trees, Bradford pears, maple. Got a catalpa tree right here in front of the house. I think there's another type of tree besides the maple that's another leafy tree, but I'm not sure. Uh, Out back, I've got a lot of blackjack oak that are back there. You jumped on the rental, you pulled that off. The sky's the limit. All right, later, Jeff. And yeah, I'm definitely going to do what I can to try to get this rental to be me owning it, because this is home. This place is home to me and Dawn. I never really thought I would want to live right off of a main road, but when your house is set so far back off the road, it's not that big of a deal. And when you have such a beautiful yard, you don't even think about it. I sit in the living room, my couch is right there, kind of in line with the front door, and I see people drive by, motorcycles. I see a lot of just cool shit driving by too, old hot rods, classics. I see the guys driving by in their lifted trucks, their imports. I see about everything driving by here. See a lot of trucks and trailers, semis, and back when I grew up I'm in the same town that I grew up in, and there is probably 10 times the traffic up and down this road than there was back in the 80s and 90s. Especially, I mean, I'm sure the 80s was even quieter, but 90s, shoot. The amount of people that would drive by this house this time, especially even just this time of day back in the 90s, right now I'm seeing couple hundred, probably a couple hundred vehicles drive by every hour or so. And back then, shoot, you'd probably see 20 people drive by in an hour, maybe 2 or 3 hours. It's kind of crazy. And the thing that sucks, what makes it worse, that makes it hard for me, is the entryway at the road is all gravel. And I want to get rid of all that gravel and put in some pavement. I want to keep this whole I want to keep this whole two strip concrete thing with the grass running in the middle. It makes me think of, big, big country homes, property, and stuff you see in movies and stuff off in the middle of nowhere. And, I like that. I want to widen the concrete on each side of the strip, like out at least a foot on each side. And then I want to move the concrete. I need to, if this place was mine, I would make a lot of changes in the concrete, um, and the driveway and everything. Make things a lot better. But something about the whole strip, the grass strip in the middle of the concrete strips on this big property, it's nice. But if I could get rid of the gravel entryway and put concrete up there coming from the road, that'd make it so much easier getting in or at least out of the driveway in the mornings and afternoons, evenings, whenever, because there's so many gaps in traffic that I could get out on. But with that gravel, I can't. because I'll sit there and I'll spin my tires and yep, I'll end up in the middle of the road when they're coming up on me. Alvin Lewis, Alvin Lewis, what's up, Lizard King? How you doing, Alvin? You get your gravel refaced for not much. You'll try to find the guy. Yeah, Johnny, the thing is if I can get rid of the gravel and put in some some packed asphalt just as kind of a temporary thing, because I don't plan on leaving this place. Um, I'm gonna stay here as long as it takes for me to get my landlord to sell to me because this is home. And yeah, definitely my plan would be to have a good concrete entrance. But if I could do, I know it would be a lot cheaper just to do kind of a packed asphalt entryway. That would be great. I would love that. Alvin's been good, spending more time with grandson. Alvin, I didn't know you had grandkids. Damn, you're an old fucker, aren't you? I didn't realize you were that old, you turd. Got two of them. So are they both from the same son or daughter, or one from each, or what? I don't know what you got in the way of kids. You got a son, a daughter, two sons, two daughters, a son, whatever. A single daughter that's, attractive, looking for a good looking guy with a good job and home and, willing to come to Oklahoma. I can't think of leaving Oklahoma for the next 9 years at least till Dom turns 18. Dang, I still got water dripping off the roof. It quit raining a little while back. We had one hell of a thunderstorm overnight though. That was freaking crazy. She got married a year ago. What the hell? Kick her ass to the curb. That ain't no help for me. All right. I guess I'd be happy for you, Papa, Grandpa, whatever you are. Happy to hear that for you, Alvin. I'm sure you're a proud daddy. Oh, stupid laptop. Would never connect to my internet. So reading chat. I would have to call you daddy. I'd call you Lizard King or Lizard Daddy. Oh. It's starting to get a little chilly outside. I think we're going to move into the house. Maybe then I can get my laptop to connect. I don't know. I'm gonna carry a few things inside real quick, and I'll be right back, and I'll move us into the house. Oh. All right. See what we got going on here. Big Slim, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? Sorry, I'm working on moving into the house. Let me see, Maggie. What are you doing? What are you doing? Uh-oh. Phone's tipping over. Oh, come on now. Oh. Got some things in the kitchen, living room, dining room area that I don't have an order, so I'd much rather not show it. So I'm gonna just go straight to the dining room. Got the table. You know what? I found this table. I freaking love it. I bought it years ago. Maggie, this little shit right here, as you see, yeah, Maggie, yeah, she has torn up the pads on all of these chairs. She has clawed every single one of them. When I first moved into this place, every single one was pristine, and now they all have claw marks. So eventually, I'm gonna freaking get them recovered. If one of these days she ever decides she wants to grow up and quit spazzing out and jumping on all the furniture and clawing everything. But one thing that I love about this when I bought it, you got this marble or I mean whatever the hell it is, but Lazy Susan middle. Got that so you can have all your stuff in the middle and you can just nope, if you need it on your side, if somebody needs it where they're at, they just spin the middle and bring it to themselves. And yes, my placemats are just cloth napkins because I have not been able to find some placemats that I really like. So until then, I'm dealing with the cloth napkins, which I don't care because they look nice. Plug my phone back in. But sitting at the table, I'm gonna have to definitely work on trying to get my laptop to connect to the internet. Maybe. Let's see what I'm missing in chat. Furniture paint after. Ashley's back. I knew she couldn't. Leather putty. Let's see, Ashley. It's so hot upstairs. Damn dog chewed a new AC unit cord. That's not good, Ashley. I'm sorry to hear that. Big Slim, man. I just, hanging around the house and figured, what the hell, I'll go live. I haven't been live in a long time, so I thought I would go live tonight. See what kind of crowd we could draw. I mean, we've been up to 10 people. Not a big crowd, but we've had a good revolving crowd coming in. A lot of awesome people. Definitely can't complain about the people that have come in here. A lot of good people. Johnny, Ashley, Leanne, Aaron, Catfish Regulators. We've had Alvin Lewis, 922 Crappie, Big Slim. Let's see who else. I'd have to remember who else. But for kind of a short impromptu live, well, there you go. We got Maggie. Hey, you're on the wrong side of the camera. Go back over there so people can see you. Hey, you leave. Yeah, you little shit. Kick your ass. Of course, I was out walking around in the wet grass out back, and now I got dirt on my toes, and that freaking drives me crazy. I hate having dirty feet. Apparently, I'm going to have to restart my router in the house. Unplug it, plug it back in. Oh, YouTube might be trying. I think it's trying. I don't know. Chat's not trying. Chat kind of gave up. Goddamn. Chat kind of gave up. Chat all got quiet, but that's all right. I'm still here. I'm going to get in front of the camera here in a few minutes if I can ever get this crap straightened out. I'll be right back. I'm going to restart the router. Or modem. Johnny's leaving us. I guess I wasn't being entertaining enough. Sorry, Johnny. Hey, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. I really do. I always love when I see you around. So definitely, I can't wait to talk to you again, buddy. And I'm going to try to start going live again more often. And hopefully I can get things back to normal with this and figure out StreamYard for one thing, especially on phone, because being able to see it on the phone is definitely not like it used to be. I mean, it's good that they added where you can see the chat on the side, but man, it's all kinds of screwed up. Come on, baby girl. And okay, my laptop is not connecting to the internet. Oh, I freaking hate satellite internet. God. Here pretty soon, I am canceling this satellite internet and I'm going to get the T-Mobile 5G. The tower is not even a half mile from my house, so my connection should be perfect. I am so freaking tired of this. Any kind of storm comes by, anything, it ruins everything. Yep, it is not connecting. So I guess I am going to rotate things around Go back here. Do 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 do. Camera. Camera. Front facing. Ugly me. Back at it. All right. Rotate it around. Do, 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 do. Ah. Cord. Good Lord, it's 9 o'clock. I need to think about eating dinner at some point. Well, thank you, Leanne. Okay, there we go. My tripod won't go any lower, so. Ashley, let's see. Uh-oh, my child got home 4 minutes late. Maybe I should scare her by taking her. You know, Ashley, it's freaking crazy that she is old enough to drive now. I remember when we first met, she was like 12 years old. And driving was the last thought. It is crazy how our kids are growing up. I mean, Dom's out mowing now. I got him. I got the riding mower out there, letting him mow, which he still hasn't gotten the whole thing set where, he's good with really keeping a pattern or anything else. But hey, he drives around and he gets it done. She's a junior. Holy shit. That is insane. Yeah, he has gotten big. And your daughter, she's beautiful. So, you got to keep an eye on her. You definitely need to be getting that big bad dad vibe on her boyfriends to be like, fuck her around, I'm gonna kill you. He has gotten big, and I'm gonna start trying to post some more stuff with him, some more videos and stuff. I recorded some video of him out mowing the yard when I first let him get out there on the mower that I keep planning on posting some other stuff. So, anybody pays any attention to my, it's not community posts now, as YouTube has changed everything. Her dad is always on the boys. Yeah, I would be too, Ashley. She is a beautiful girl, and you've got a lot to deal with her. Just keep things straight. No teen babies. Keep her head going straight and keep her getting education and growing up. Worry about growing up before fucking trying to make something else she has to worry about growing up before she's even grown up. Yeah, Leanne, I'm gonna be posting more. I've got which one of the last shorts from one of the big concerts I went to not too long ago. It actually got blocked. It was from the band Avatar, and their thing was that it was copyright, and I would have been good apparently if I would have posted 60 seconds or less. But since I posted, I posted basically like the whole song on a short or something like that. They blocked it. So apparently, if it's copyright music and it's a short that's under 60 seconds, you're good. So I'm just going to go in and, cut it down, repost. But I'm going to post stuff from all these different bands that I've been going to see. I've recorded a lot of videos and everything else. Um, but yeah, I've got pictures. I've met some of the bands. This hat. So most of y'all don't know the bands, or most of y'all probably are not going to know the bands that I've listened to. Listen to a lot of heavy metal, a lot of hard rock, and a lot of what they call now new metal. Um, so I went to a concert, what, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, something like that. Um, Headliner was the band was 0936, and the opener was Elijah, and then there was one or two other opening bands, and at the end of the night, Elijah and 0936 were at their merch tables signing, doing meet and greets and signings, and I just decided I was going to go ahead and stand in line to at least meet them. I didn't have the money to buy any kind of merch. I met Elijah. I got pictures with him. He's really freaking cool. Some bitches, I mean, shit, I'm 6 foot. He's probably about like 5'9", 5'10", but he's freaking built like a brick shit house. Um, but you would never think by listening to his music, listening to him singing, that he was the guy singing. But met him, and then I went on over to 0936 to their merch table, and I met him. And I think it's the lead singer. I think he's the one that goes by 0936. I don't know if it's like the band that, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it works that way. But anyways, I got up there, and I got up there to meet him and one of the other guys with the band. And I was sitting there talking to him, and I was like, dude, I don't have the money to buy any kind of merch. I said, I just, wanted to wait in line. I wanted to meet you and tell you how awesome you did on stage and everything, and how I love your music from everything I've heard. And he reached down to the freaking table and grabbed this hat right here. He grabbed this hat and handed it to me. And he said, man, don't worry about it. And he said, I'm just happy that, he said, I'm happy you came out here to see us. So got there, and I think if you look at it right, all this stuff on the outside, if you're able to decipher it, I think it says 0936, but the clock is supposed to be set at 9:36, which would be 9:36 a.m. Now I don't know what that represents, and then you got 0936 on the back. So he personally handed this hat to me, and you know what? I loved their music before I saw them in concert, and I love it even more now that the guy freaking just handed me a hat right off their merch table and gave it to me, and took pictures with me. Jason in Michigan, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for coming in. I think I remember you being in here in the past. It's been so long since I've done a live stream, man. There's people I've forgotten, people I just, you know, people I don't remember being part of the channel coming into lives and everything else. So if you have been in here before, I do apologize. I think I remember you, but I'm not quite guaranteed on that. Ashley says, hell no, too young to be a granny. Ashley, yeah, you're too young to be a granny. You're too old to be a mom unless it's coming from me. I mean, a new mom. She's going to college. We've had many talks. Well, good. I hope those many talks have sunk in. And pulling out is not a factor. We met in Skipjack Cindy's. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, Cindy's got a big following. She got a lot of people that come in there on the regular. And I'm going to try to work on getting back to being a regular live streamer. I'm going to try to get back out and start fishing again. I finally cracked a beer. Yingling. Me and my friends call them Yingdings. But yeah, I'm gonna try to start getting back out fishing, doing some fishing live streams. I got my workshop. I'm working on getting into order. Um, I've got a zero turn mower that I bought shit damn near a year ago that is sitting over at my dad's. Uh, it's if the model that it is, it's about 10 years old. It doesn't have a shit ton of hours on it, but it is, if you bought it on the same model today, that very same model is $20,000. I gave 600 for it at an auction. It starts, runs, the blades run. The right side, it's got two separate, because it's a zero turn, it has two separate drive motors, hydraulic units. The right side works perfectly fine, the left side has a problem. So I've got to figure out what that is, and I've got to get it from my dad's, got to load it up on the trailer, get it over to my house over here, get it in the workshop. I'm going to tear it down, and I'll probably do some live streams or some shorts or videos of the work that I'm doing to it to try to figure out what's going on. It may just be maybe a clogged up filter, and maybe I'll change the filter and the oil in it, and maybe it'll be just right. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll have to spend the money to put a whole new drive motor on it, hydraulic motor, and you know everything with that. But what I found is it's like $1,600. So if I have to spend $1,600 to replace that one drive motor, and you figure that I gave $600 for it, so that's $2,200 for a $20,000 zero turn commercial zero turn lawnmower. I think I'm doing okay, because if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, I think I remember Home Depot or Lowe's. I think, yeah, it's Lowe's that sells Craftsman. Their cheapest Craftsman standard sit on steering wheel, four-wheel riding mower was $2,000. So for me to only have $2,200 into a $20,000, we'll just say $15,000 mower from when it was bought new back, when it was new. It was probably a $15,000 mower as opposed to today's $20,000. But either way, that's a shit ton of money that I didn't have to spend to buy a mower, a freaking awesome mower. And it's the same brand, it's an X Mark. It's the same brand that my next door neighbor has, and I used to borrow his X Mark, and that thing was freaking amazing. It steered perfectly, it cut perfectly, the ride was great. So, I'm looking forward to getting that thing going. And then I'm going to get the welder that I bought, I'm going to get it out there, get it set up, and get after using it. Learning to TIG weld. I've never TIG weld. That's the big part of it. Is I bought a TIG welder, and I'm going to learn to use it. I know how to MIG weld and stick weld, but TIG welding is different. Takes a lot more getting used to. So I'm going to do that, but it's going to help with my artwork. And I have multiple pieces, my sculptures, my artwork that have been put off to the side due to just my being discouraged because of the amount of time it's going to take for me to just clean it up. after welding because MIG welding, wire welding causes a lot of spatter, a lot of extra cleanup time. So with TIG welding, you have zero cleanup. So hopefully I'm gonna get that figured out. And I may start doing some live streams or shorts of me just setting it up, figuring it out. So we'll see. But I have a lot of ideas for new artwork I plan on making. And I've just been so discouraged. I want to get back on it and start making things that are in my head, and I miss doing it. Suck it up, Buttercup, and get to it, hop to it. Thanks, Ashley. Why don't you come to Oklahoma and spank my ass and get me going? Huh? Yep. Get me on the ball. Leanne would love to see you spank my ass and get me moving. I'm probably reading it in the wrong order, but it sounded good to me. God damn, I really hate this crap. This StreamYard on the phone. Jason was thinking about heading out for some brook trout before Saturday. Dude, that'd be awesome. We don't have brook trout in Oklahoma. We only have trout. They stock, I think they stock both rainbow and brown trout in Oklahoma. I do know that they stock rainbow trout. Right now, being in May, we might not have really any more trout around. From what I read, they have said that I think they found that brown trout have been found to actually spawn and grow in the lower Illinois River, which I think is below on the south end of Lake Eufaula. I could be mistaken as far as what I read, but if that's the location, I took it as though that's on the south end of Eufaula, but I'm not sure. But they start stalking at the beginning of November, and they stop stalking at the end of February, sometimes into March. It depends on the location. I mean, yeah, I would be happy with Ashley spanking me. Oklahoma, damn your severe weather down there it's freaking you. Dude, our weather has been so fucked up right now. I mean, it's crazy. Like yesterday it was freaking like 90 degrees. Today our high was like 58. It was freaking windy as hell, and we had a super crazy thunderstorm overnight that woke me up multiple times. And I don't wake up to much in the middle of the night. I sleep like a rock, but I woke up multiple times to the damn storm. It got me. I mean, that's Ohio weather. Well, Ashley, since you used to Ohio weather being Oklahoma weather, I mean, all you got to do is take a trip down here. It's not too far. I've driven through to and through Ohio many times. Oh wait, but you don't drive interstate. You don't drive highways. You're a scaredy cat to make short trips quick. Let's see. Jason says, yeah, same here. Was 85 yesterday. We have a freeze warning next 2 nights. We don't have anything near a freeze warning. Now we're having, chilly nights, but not no freeze warning. That's crazy. That's what happens when you get north of like I-70. North of I-70 is when all the shit happens. Yep, actually, I've experienced all four seasons in one day, driving from Oklahoma to Denver. Like that here in Pennsylvania, 90 for a few days, then going to get in the 50s. Yep, Leanne, that's crazy. Fudge, no. Hey, Ashley, when there's something worth driving to, you get rid of that whole fear of driving on those roads. I've driven I've driven to and through 28, 29 states of this country. I've driven all the way out east on I-40. I've driven all the way up to Pennsylvania, almost to New York. I've driven all the way down into Florida, driven all the way to Minnesota and North Dakota, all the way down to Porch, South Texas, to shit, what's that town? Not Brownsville. I forget. All the way, I was about 25 to 30 miles from San Diego, California. And then I had to head straight south into Mexico. That was, I don't know, that was interesting. That was a 1 day trip into Mexico and out of Mexico. And I wish to never drive in Mexico again. Mexican drivers are the scariest. They're worse than freaking Texas drivers, and that's bad. Texas drivers, goddamn, Texas drivers are fucking horrible. They cannot drive. And then when they come into Oklahoma, they screw everything up. They make it worse. They come up here with their freaking attitude. Actually, most of the time, they sit there in a freaking fast lane doing 65 to 70 in a 70 freaking mile an hour zone, blocking off traffic. And if they're not doing that, they're driving like a fucking idiot, like 5 times the speed limit, weaving through traffic, damn near causing accidents. I've been out to California a few times, Florida, Oregon. Your father was a trucker growing up. Yeah, that's awesome, Jason. See, my grandparents, I grew up with my grandparents living down in Florida between Daytona Beach and Orlando. When I was a little kid, when I was back in the 80s, they lived in Orlando. And then they moved to a town in between, kind of, it was between Daytona Beach and Orlando, kind of a little bit west, but it was kind of like, it would make it like a V. Like you head from Daytona southwest, and then you pick up, and then you head kind of more south to Orlando. It's kind of hard to, I don't know. I've driven those freaking roads so many damn times. I don't know. Looking at a map, it's totally different than what I think it is, I'm sure. But they ended up being about half an hour from Daytona Beach, 30 to 45 minutes from Orlando, depending on where you wanted to go. But I spent a lot of my younger years out there, and I never flew until I was like 23, 24, and that was for a work trip. I had to drive up to Lansing, Holland, I think Holland, Michigan. I had to drive up to Holland, Michigan, drop a truck off, and I had to fly out of Lansing. And that was the very first time I ever flew, and that was one of the most horrible experiences ever. That really sucked because of storms in Chicago. Especially when you're a person who doesn't do heights very well, and then you end up with storms, dealing with storms in a plane and everything. No, it was, and not to mention there was a girl that I'd known for some years up in Kansas, and she was coming down to Oklahoma to spend the weekend with me that night. and I was supposed to get into Oklahoma City. I think she was going to pick me up at the airport, and we were going to spend the weekend together. And yeah, I didn't get home until like the next freaking day. Well, yeah, it was just it was a horrible experience. I ended up having to fly into Dallas instead of Oklahoma City, and my parents had to drive down to Dallas to pick me up. Yeah, that sucked. And I didn't get back until like 6 o'clock in the morning, the next morning, something like that. Either way, but I will say Michigan is a freaking beautiful state. And I freaking love Holland, Michigan is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. Just it's so picturesque when I drove up to the lake and I saw just those boats and everything else it was just freaking amazing. Let's see, Leanne. Oh, Jason. I saw something about Hershey. I was thinking, or Tootsie. Yeah, one time we found some plants. Wiki, wiki. Yeah. So one time Jason found some weed. God damn it. One time Jason found some weed around near the Tootsie Roll factory in Chicago back in '97. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Northern Michigan is beautiful. Yes, it is, man. And I'll tell you, dude. So I had to make a trip one time. So back in 2008, I got my first motorcycle, my CBR 600R, and I think it was within that first year I made new friends to ride with, and one of the friends that I made to ride with was actually a friend that I went to high school with, and I hadn't seen him in years. Well, he had this friend that was from here, but she lived in Nashville and she was here visiting. So me and her kind of hooked up. It never made it to fruition or anything, but we rode together. She's friggin' sexy as could be. And we hooked up. We got along really well, but just we never could make anything. But she was going back to Nashville, and I was making a trip to Ohio or freaking somewhere, I forget. Anyways, um, I ended up going that way. I took I-40 to Nashville to try to meet up with her, and that definitely didn't work out. But no, I wasn't going to Ohio because I ended up in Michigan. So stopped in Nashville. That didn't work out. So I ended up driving up whatever interstate runs through there, 24 or whatever. I went up through Nashville, up through Indianapolis, and then I think maybe part of Kentucky. I forget. Anyways, on up all the way straight up into Michigan. And that was during like September, October area during fall. And I will tell you, that was the absolutely most beautiful drive ever going that way because just seeing the amount of just different tree color changes and everything and just the colors of all the trees and everything else that was like the most beautiful drive ever, and I would take that drive again just for the hell of it if I ever had the money. I wish I could afford just to take off, fill the gas tank, and just go and fill it up, get my son in the truck and just go places and see things. Funny thing is that I bought my lottery tickets last night, the Lotto America, and it's 5 numbers plus the star ball. Well, I got the star ball and 3 numbers. So if I'd had 4 numbers and the star ball, it would have been like $100,000 or something like that. But no, I had 3 numbers and star ball, and that was only good for $20. What the, you know, that sucked. But I'm sitting there, I pull it up, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, and yeah, deflated. But either way, it was really cool to see that, it's almost kind of close, but not close. I was close, but I wasn't close at all. But it was really cool to see that I at least had three matching numbers plus the magic ball. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have gotten me and Dom on the road. Shit, we'd be going to like Costa Rica to go do the freaking miles of zip lines they got down in Costa Rica over the rainforest canopy and stuff, which would fucking be amazing. Like I want to do the zip lines over the rainforest in Costa Rica. That would just oh yeah, that would just be amazing. One of these days. Maybe I'll find a sugar mama that would take us on a trip somewhere around the world to go do things. The tree, yeah, oh yeah, the tree colors are huge tourist attractions, especially in northern Michigan. We have hills here. Yeah, yeah. Michigan is definitely a beautiful state. A lot of people associate, oh, Detroit. I ended up in Detroit a couple times on my trips. I didn't really get to spend any time around anywhere. It was always, get there, load up or unload and come back. So I didn't get to experience Detroit and the ghetto or lack of, depending on where you were. But everything I got to see in Michigan was just freaking beautiful. You need a sugar mama to take take you to take you to the Fiji Islands, dude. Yeah, I needed sugar mama to take me everywhere around the world. Shit. I told my brother, I was sitting there talking to my brother my brother's wife she was born and raised in Indonesia. Her dad was, I think, a World War II veteran. Me and her are the same age. I'm 45. She's actually 46 now. She's a few months older than me. Um, but her dad was about to turn 90 when we turned 30. So she's the baby, but he was an American, stayed over there and had a family. So she's got dual citizenship. Her and my brother have been married since like 2003, I think it was. But yeah, me and my brother were sitting there talking. I was like, man, because they've taken trips. They took a trip to Korea. They took a trip to Indonesia. They took a trip to Japan. I was like, dude, you're making all these damn trips. I ain't ever. The one trip I made out of the country was to Mexico, and that was one trip. That was one day into Mexico and out, and that was a horrible experience. Getting into Mexico was freaking easy. Getting back into the country sucked, and the drivers down there suck. But yeah, I really want to see other parts of the world, especially. I mean, shit. And he said if when it comes down to like tourism, and this goes for anybody, if you want to go to like an Asian country and go experience things, if you think you want to go to Japan, he said South Korea is the most uh, English friendly country there is when it comes to the Asian countries. They are well versed in English. Their street vendors, everything else are more geared towards the English language. So if you decide one day you want to take a trip to an Asian country, cons- excuse me, consider going to South Korea because, like I said, he said it was more geared and a lot more people speak English over there. So you may have a better time. Now, if you want to go to Indonesia, even when my brother and his wife went to Indonesia, you have to deal with the police over there. You have to bribe your way through that country. when it comes to all kinds of things. If you're in a taxi, from what I remember them telling me, you have to bribe. You have to put money out to where you can get places because their cops are so corrupt over there, and it's horrible. Let's see. Yeah, Jason. So Jason says, "Did you ever visit San Fran during?" No, dude. The coast had sewer leak. Wow. Let's see. Cost of living is cheaper in Thailand. Well, yeah, the cost of living in Thailand is cheaper because everybody's running from all the dude chicks or all the chick dudes or whatever. All the dudes with tits over there. Man, I'm just going on that from the hangover. I mean, to each their own. In Japan, you'll see no foreigners welcome. Wow. Out in front of some pubs. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I work with a number, I don't personally work with them, but so I work for the federal government. I build jet engines for the Air Force. And we've got our shop where we build, and then we've got our sheet metal area where they work on parts from our engines and everything. Well, the people in our sheet metal area, it's now uh, the only male in the sheet metal area in the sheet metal shop is their work lead. Otherwise, it's four women who are all Asians. Um, and I don't know if they're all Vietnamese or what. And we're actually supposed to be having a potluck tomorrow, and I don't even know what the hell to bring. I got some bags of chips. I'm just like, oh, but dude, they'll have a day where they're making freaking banh mi sandwiches. Uh, it may be like a Vietnamese noodle soup. They just say noodle soup. It could be pho. I don't know. Um, but I mean spring rolls. The shit they make is just freaking amazing. They'll cook up, especially when it comes to like Asian New Year. They're cooking so much stuff, and they'll invite us over, and it'll be, they won't charge us, they won't ask us for anything. They'll just invite us, and it is the best food in the world, and it's amazing. I mean, oh man, by the time I get done eating, it's just like, I'm done. I don't want to go back to work. And yeah, man, it's a good job. I've been there for the last 3 years. I build the jet engines for build the engines that go on the B-52 bomber and the AWACS. The AWACS is the one that has that big white dish with the black stripe down the middle of it. I build the engines that go on those airplanes. It's good. I like what I do. I enjoy it. There's it's not like an assembly line where it's just you're one of those people that just keeps putting the same thing on the same thing on the same thing for 8 hours a day doing the same goddamn thing. I'm putting hundreds of parts together to build an engine, and not everything goes together perfectly every time. This is an engine that has been around since like the 50s or 60s, and it's just keeping parts revolving, trying to keep good parts. And there's parts we can't even get. They don't make them anymore. We're having to keep parts and get them fixed, repaired. I mean, it's kind of a nightmare, but it's an engine that we just got to keep making do with and keep building until they finally get the retro Rolls Royce, I think, engine that's supposed to fit on the planes. But there's no telling when that's going to happen. So we just got to keep building the engine until they tell us not to. So we got to just keep coming up with different ways to make things work. when we've got parts sustainability issues and everything else. So it's, it's a different challenge every day. Um, Sometimes the challenge is like I just had a challenge. So we had to do a quick turn, which means we had to tear down an engine the last couple days of last week, and then we had to work overtime this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which overtime is always nice because we don't get much of it. And the bad thing about when we work weekend overtime, we have to go in at 4:30 in the morning. That sucks. But I was on time both days, so that's good. Um, but so they got it torn down Friday. We started rebuilding it Saturday, and then they got done with the initial part on Saturday on the first stage of the rebuild. And then Sunday we started my section of the motor, and we got that done yesterday. We got it done at the end of the day yesterday. There was one thing I had to torque all the nuts on one flange, and then we had to do our final overall inspection this morning. So I mean, we built up the hot section in 2 days, which granted there's a lot of stuff we didn't have to do that we would normally have to do on a full build because it was a full teardown, but it was minimal. There was a lot of things that got left together, but um, it saved a lot of time. But we got it done, and so I got all the computer and paperwork done on that this morning, and then I had to start back on the engine that I started building last week, and I had a hiccup that hiccup was totally my fault, 100%. It was, I'm going here, 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 all over the place, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And then I look at something in an instant, and I was even talking to the Pratt and Whitney engineers. They're Pratt and Whitney are the designers, the builders of the engine. And I even went to them like, dude, this shit ain't working right. What the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden it just hit me in an instant. That was all my own doing. There was something missing, and I got ahead of myself when this all happened, and I figured it out. And it was the dumbest mistake in the world. But you know what? Whatever. It didn't take me too much longer to figure it out. And I took off what I needed to take off, and I put on what I needed to put on and went right back with it. And it didn't cost me a lot of time, and I was good to go. So I finally got to where I could start moving forward, and that'd be that. So I've been applying for different jobs within, trying to be, there've been a couple of equipment specialist jobs come up. Uh, that'd be a pretty good salary increase. So, but first one I applied for, I got denied. I did not meet the criteria that they were looking for, and that could have been because I just didn't have the time in that they wanted. I don't know, but I'm gonna just keep applying for different things and trying to get there. And yes, sir, Jason, that food would be awesome, and that food always is awesome. Their food is always amazing. You're heading Skipjack Cindy, are they live? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't draw the crowd, they do. I have never done a YouTube live stream from the YouTube app. Um, so, eventually maybe I'll do a vertical live and see how that goes. But I don't have 30,000 subscribers like Cindy, but you know, A lot of people, when they started doing the vertical lives, that's how they got their subscribers. That's the only reason a lot of people got their subscribers, actually. A lot of people didn't grow until that came. So, but all right. With that said, we got two people in here still, just probably listen to me blabber and Babylon. Babylon. I don't know where Babylon is, but I've been going for 2.5 hours. It's 9:49, and I need to eat something. I bought a rotisserie chicken while I was at Sam's earlier, so I'm gonna hack that thing up and eat some chicken and maybe some ramen noodles or something, just something quick and easy that I can heat up. Oh, we still got Ashley hanging out. So I'm gonna get something to eat and get myself a shower. Nice to see you too, Ashley. But yeah, it was good being live again. I'm gonna try to start making it a habit. And I know Dom enjoys being part of the channel. So I'm gonna try to get Dom, try to start doing some lives with Dom being part of it. He's a ham. He definitely likes to be the spectacle and be in the spotlight. So we're gonna start doing some lives together. But I really do appreciate each and every one that came in here. Ashley, love you. Thank you for coming in. Everybody else, thank you for coming in. Love you guys too. But I will catch you guys in some live streams or hopefully when I go live again. Until then, y'all have a good night. Bye. End. End. There we go.